So in the developer window, so to create a form, you go to insert user form, then it will create a form for you. The area, so where you can design your form, and these are the controls that are available. In the project explorer, you can see the form. So I have added two forms here. So first user form 1 was there, user form 2, now I have added. So whenever you insert user form, then it will add the form. So these forms are used to create user interface for your applications. So let me take form 1. So here this using these controls, like in HTML, how you create uh, text boxes, labels, radio buttons, check boxes, all those things, command buttons. Similarly, so here we can create controls, form controls. So we have two types of controls. One is ActiveX controls, another is a form control. So earlier what we have seen was ActiveX control that we have created. Now this is the form control we are going to create. So this is the label. So this A control is a label. So you can double click on that. You can write events also. At present we don't want anything. So just let us change only properties for this. Right click on that. Properties window. So in properties window you can change. So label caption. Label caption is what it appears on the screen for us. Username is a caption that I am giving for this. So we want to create another label. Okay, let me take this as first name. First name. The second label. Last name. First name and last name labels we are creating. So let us just create a form with two labels, first name and last name. Then two text boxes to take user input. So this is text box. So next to the label, the third control here, so that AB it is appearing, right? That is a text box. So let me create another text box. Text box 1, text box 2. So we are going to create a form. So where we can read first name and last name of the person. And so we will use one command button. So where for command button, we'll give the caption as full name. So we will write. So we will write click event for full name command button. On click of this full name command button, the first name and last name which is entered in these two text boxes will be concatenated and it will be displayed in the MSG box. So that is a simple user interface that I'm going to create now. So what I did is I have created two labels, first name, last name. So using this control, label control, and two text boxes. The name of this text box is text box 1. If you see the properties panel, so you will find what is the name of the text box. This names, if you want, we can change also. So and this is another text box. The name of the text box is text box 2. So by default, so it will give the first name, the last name. So sorry, text box 1, text box 2. So let us take the click event for this command button. I'll double click on this, or we can go for right click and view code also. So when I double click this, so I get for command button. So by default we get the click event. So I got the click event for command button 1. So what we want is text box 1 and text box 2 values we want to take. Similarly, how we have taken value from the Excel cells. Similarly, so from text boxes also we can take by using the value attribute on the object. So to access that, so we have text box 1 dot value. I'll directly put into MSG box. Text box 1 dot value, single ampersand for concatenation, text box 2 dot value. So what I am doing is I am taking value from text box 1 and value from text box 2. So on click of command button, I have taken the click event for this. So text box 1 dot value and text box 2 dot value I am concatenating, and it will be displayed on the MSG box. So let us give some space in between first name and last name. Some extra space also we will concatenate here. So let us go to our user form. So this is a form that we have created. A simple form. Fine. So let us run this form. Go to run. So the form is executed for us. First name and the last name. And click on full name command button. So we get on MSG box. So we get the full name. So text box 1 value, text box 2 value, both are concatenated and it is displayed on the MSG box. So click OK. So it is done. So you can close this form, which will return you back to your code development page. So this is a simple form that we have created. This is how the forms are created. We have so many controls here. So this is a frame. So where you can where you can frame all the controls, form controls. So within the frame also, like you want to group. So within that also we can do that. So I don't want here any frame. So let me go to user form 1. I have created a form 1. So you can traverse through your forms. You can traverse through your forms. So by using the project explorer window or so form 1. So when you double click form 1, when you click on double click on form 2, it will take you to form 2. So how many number of forms you want to create? So you can create all those forms, and you can link all the forms. So based on some events or however you want. So in the application. So basically, so these forms are used to create interfaces for the application. For your projects also, you are supposed to create some the required forms and so build the application. So this is a combo box. So like the drop down box. So we have. So then, so this is a text area. So anywhere if you want, we will create. These are the check boxes. This is radio button. So radio button. So we have so toggle button, like so when you click once, so it will be selected. Again when you click, so it will be deactivated, like on off kind of things. So the frame, the command button, this is the tab strips, like you want to create the form with tabs. So this is a tab strip. So multiple pages you want to create, then scroll bars. So some images you want to put. So for all that, so we have the controls in this. So using these controls, so we can create our form. So with the required fields appropriately, so we can create the form. Let me focus on some more events. So rather than so creating different so form controls, different events. So let me go to. So I have clicked on so text box. So when I click on the text box, so it has taken me to the code user form code. So where text box 1 by default it has the change event. So like for command button, so by default we have the click event. So here for this, so we have the change event. So what uh, usually it will be done is on change of the text, the events will be written for text box. Like in HTML, if you remember the HTML, so we have so in JavaScript, so we have discussed on events, right? The same way, so all the events will be available here also. So these are the events. So which event you want to create for that control. So here we can select in this drop down, we can select the object. So we have created for this user form 1. So we have created command button, one command button, two labels, two text boxes. So this is form itself. So form means, I'll show you this. So this area, so other than uh, the controls what we have created, remaining all. So here, so this area completely will be considered as the form. So for this, on this also we can write events. Like usually, if you want any initializations, then on form initialize event we will be writing. That means when you start your form, when you run, the form is started, the form is loaded. So immediately that part of the code will be executed. So like this. So let us take user form. So on click it is there. So if like when you click on this MSG box, let me show how this event works. So I have taken one MSG box, hello, on user form click. No control, it is directly the form. So this area, other than your objects, the remaining part of the area here, whatever is there, so all this part is called as the user form. So when you click on this, so you get the event will be triggered. So we have put on user form click. Anywhere in this user form, when you click, so we get the code executed under that. So I'll close this. So this is a user form click. So on user form, you want like on form load, you want to initialize some variables or some something to be initialized. Then so user form underscore initialize. So this what I have done is here I have selected user form. The control what I have selected or the object what I have selected is a user form, and the event what I have taken is initialize. Okay, so initialize event. Then user form initialize event will be triggered. That means when your form is loaded immediately, so this code will be executed. So this event will be helpful for us to initialize variables. On form load, the variables, whatever you want to initialize, then that you can put in this part of the code. That's all. So when the form is loaded, so immediately form initialize code will be, the code under form initialize will be executed. On click, it is MSG box hello. And for text boxes, so we are entering some value and full name. Then, so this is another event we have taken, command button, click event. So that is also executing. So we can create any number of events. So depending on our requirement. So on which object, what kind of event you want to create, that events we can do. Yeah. So coming back to this change event. So text box 1 underscore change. So on for text box 1, the change event, if you want, like when you change some code, when you change some text on the text box, the event will be triggered. So let me put again here, the MSG box only, MSG box T1. Simply I will display T1. So let me run this form loaded. When I change something, immediately it will trigger that event. Again, something I am typing here, then immediately this event MSG box 1 is triggered, because the content of this text box is getting changed. So that is a change event. Whenever any change is there in the text box value, then the event will be triggered. So that is a change event. So if you want anything like that to be triggered, then we can take the text box on text boxes change event. Okay, so we don't want change events. So like every time, so on change we don't want. This is like on change event, right? Every time when it is changing, we don't want. So we want only after completing all the entries in that text box. When you leave that text box, then event has to be triggered. Not on change. When you leave the text box after entering everything, when you leave the text box, then event has to be triggered. So for that we had to use exit. This is text box 1 text box 1 underscore exit, that it is created, right? What I did, text box 1, I'm in text box 1 object, then I have selected here exit event. Text box 1 underscore exit. So this event will be triggered when you leave the text box. When the focus is last from the text box. That means you had to enter and then come out of the text box. Then only this event will be triggered. So let us take once again MSG box. What we will do is when you leave the text box, so let us take the value of the text box. The text box 1, text box 1 dot value, and run. Form loaded. This is change event. Change event, how many times you are changing, that many times it will be triggered. It is not only you are entering, if you are deleting also it is a change, so it will be triggered. I will, yeah. So I will exit this either using tab or using mouse. So if you are coming out of the text box, then the event exit, that is on blur event in JavaScript, what we have seen is similar to that exit event. So on exit, when you exit the text box, then this event will be triggered. What we have done there is we have simply displayed the value of the text box. So text box 1 we have value we have taken, that it is getting displayed here for us. For text box 2 we don't have any of the events, so nothing is triggered here. So again on click of this, so we get this full name. Done? Yes. So this is how we can write so different events. When you exit the text boxes, you can appropriately where you can use is when you leave the text box, take the value of the text box and you can use for validations, like whether the entered data is as per the requirement or not, or you want to see whether they have not entered anything, it is a not null field, but still user has gone to that text box, but they have not entered anything, they have come out without entering any data, then that also you can check. So you instead of on submission, instead of checking on submission, so what we can do is when you leave the text box, immediately you can take that value and do whatever the validation it is required, the necessary validations that are required, that we can do. So that is a better way, instead of waiting till end, till all the form data is filled. So what we can do is then and there itself we can complete the validations for that form. Right. So this is how the events are written. So similarly, so we can write event for text box 2 also. So text box 2 on change you want, or you want exit event for this, or entry event. So let us take for this enter. When you enter text box 2, then MSG box text box entry to text box 2. So let me give entry to text box 2. Right. So this is on entry. This is exit we have taken. For text box 1 we have taken exit. For text box 2 we have taken entry event enter. That means when you enter the text box, it will trigger that event. So form load. Then so let me remove this chain code. Is also not required for us. Form loaded. So text box 1 on exit, the event is triggered. So I have given tab. So that is why I'm entering to text box 2. So in the order of the controls what we are having. So text box entry to text box 2. Okay. Again, I have gone to text box 1. Then I'm coming to text box 2. Entry to text box 2. So this event is there as it is. So like this, the different events. So we can create, so on error, so on click, on change, so on key press, like key press down, key up, mouse down, so mouse up, so mouse move. So whichever event you want to use appropriately for the requirement, so that we can use, and we can write the code whatever is required on under that particular form. So this is a simple form that we have created. Similarly, you can create whatever the complete interface that is required for the application, so that we can do. So this is one basic code that I have told. So from here you want to just connect to your Excel, so that also we can do. So what we will do is in A1 we'll put some data 10. So let us take that data and put text box. I will remove this quotes. Text box 1 exit, let it be. Yeah. So on text box on form initialize. So what I will do is, so form loaded, let it be text box 1 dot value equal to a range of A1. I want, when the form is loaded, cell A1 value I want to put into text box 1. And then when we exit text box 1, the value will be displayed. Right? Let us run this. Form loaded. Okay. So when you enter into the form, so immediately we have the value of this cell. So that is what the form initializer. So when it is loaded, so all the code that is available under that initialize will be executed. That's why I told you can use that form initialize event to initialize the variables or the fields, whichever you want to initialize, or the one-time execution what is required. So all those can be put under that. So on exit, text box 1 value is displayed. On entry to text box 2 is displayed. And then put something here. So full name. So we have this also. So this is done. Right. So you can do vice versa also. So from text boxes or from user form, you can take values and you can put that. So back to Excel. So that also we can do. Or you can use, you can read data from user form and further processing can be done. So whatever so we want, so all those things we can do. So this is the basic idea on user forms, how to create a simple user form, user interface.